Well, welcome to our local, our local non-league, and of course, as usual, joining me, of course, is the living legend himself, Mr. Andy Leese. And well, what do we say about that game?
I don't know. I'll have to go home and try and sort of compute what's gone on. Really, when it was a spectacle and a proper game in the first half, we weren't good enough. We didn't deal with them sitting two in front of their back four and getting on the ball and starting their, all their kind of attacking moves off, and we just weren't good enough. The shape we went in today was to try and deal with that, but we just didn't deal with it, Dave. So on the balance of the first half, wasn't good enough. I'm not saying I don't think we deserve perhaps to be behind. It was a good finish. We've had a couple of balls flash across the box and a couple of strikes, but the second half, wow, you just have to. It's all recorded. Probably has to, unfortunately, be consigned to the bin, because it's just what's gone on with the decisions from the officials has completely changed the game. I ended up watching the last 25 minutes from up in the stand, and it was just like a training game, But I've just been and seen the referee, and the reasons I'm given for it's kind of irrelevant. Me being asked to leave the dugout, but for the players is sorry, but it just doesn't wash. I think there's been some guesswork, and we'll have the video because massively important to us. I've just said to the ref, the consequences of today are pretty dramatic for us. Both centre halves being sent off, but no, second half wasn't a spectacle, was it? We'd huffed and puffed the first 10-15 minutes. What goes on with the melee, where the referee completely misses a Stortford player is the first one in and throws a punch, and that's why everybody reacts. That is nothing to do with our players. They've reacted to something, but the referee says he hasn't seen that. Well, he'll have the benefit of the camera to show him. But then we've huffed and puffed, and we have created some chances. We have created 2 or 3 chances when we've gone down to 9 men. But at that point, Dave, you've got to salvage whatever you can from the wreckage, haven't you? But an absolute disaster of a day, and in many ways, losing the game. But I think for everybody who's here today, ruined as a spectacle in the second half, and not a good day all round.
We were sitting up there doing the commentary, and we saw the first thing we looked at in the whole thing was possible penalty down there when their keeper barges their guy over.
Yeah, when he knocks Taff over. Yeah, and the ref walks up to it, has a look at it, and waves it away. And I think, to probably 90% of people on the ground, it's a penalty.
Yeah, we said it was probably the most blatant penalty I've seen this year. In all fairness, we've seen that way, and then, as you say, with the melee. But once the melee was finished and it was all sort of done and dusted, and we were outstanding. Absolutely, I thought we were outstanding. And if anybody wants to challenge me on it, they can. But I thought they were absolutely outstanding from there on in.
Missed a bit of it while I was trying to get up the stand, but you're right. We did responded really well, and we've created 2 or 3 chances, haven't we? How we haven't scored, I don't know. A couple of balls came in as well. Again, incorrect decisions from throw-ins and corners. But listen, I'm going to sound bitter. I've been in trouble twice in 25 years of doing this, so it tells you that I don't get involved. I don't get in trouble very often. But I just felt today there was a complete lack of engagement from the officials. I've seen the assistant down our side before, but what he let go as well. If as they say, I've been sent off for swearing at the referee, I can assure you there are plenty of people across both dugouts that were doing the same and worse. So, but yeah, listen, it's a football match that we're interested in. It's gone. We've picked up no points. It hurts us a little bit losing here, obviously. And against a team that's around you, but just massively.
And I suppose the worst thing about it is you said about to start with, is you're now going to be without Lewis Knight, you're going to be without James Richmond, and then I think Anthony got sent off as well at the end. So
I think he did. I think Wordsworth got sent off as well. We have to decide what we do. We have appealed things before, but you have to be very careful. You know, you've got to be sure of your grounds, which I think we will be. I say he's told me that both centre halves are sent off for violent conduct. I think you'll see James Richmond holding on to the ball like that and pulling people on. I think you'll see Lewis Knight, much as their players did, go in and try and separate things and pulling people apart. So, you know, he consults with the official from the other side. But how he deems that violent conduct, I really don't know. And the same for their lad, the 19, the centre half who went running in. You know, I listen, all in the heat of the moment, David, will have to be reviewed carefully, and we'll have to decide what to do.
I mean, in all fairness, though, as a manager, though, I mean, when something like that happens, do you expect your players to react to help with their players?
No,
or
we've just had a word in there.
Concern you?
I expect better. You know, we should be more disciplined. We know the kind of month of this run of games we've got. I expect better. Clearly, I set the standard. I've got to expect better for myself. I'm not sitting here, you know, being hypocritical, but you know, I don't think what I've done today is worthy of being asked to leave the dugout. You know, but I think the two centre halves for you know, if it's violent conduct, then yes. You know, but we'll have to see what the report said. But yeah, David, answer your question. No, I expect better from my players. You know, I thought it was kind of pushing and shoving, and you know, apart from the very first thing that happened wasn't, and that's what the players have reacted to. So yeah, I do expect better, and we just had a word with Wordsworth as well. We expect much better from him. You know, shouldn't be talking to the ref coming off the pitch and getting himself a second yellow. So that's, you know, yeah, you're right. We do expect better, and you know, potentially we've damaged ourselves quite badly. You know, if we end up with losing 3 players.
Yeah, and of course that doesn't help. Of course, with the games that you got coming as well.
No, that's my point.
Yeah. I mean, we spoke about it.
They can manage without me if I have to sit out for a bit, but they can't manage. We can't manage without certain players. So it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting week, more interesting than I'd like. But yeah, listen, focus on the football. It's gone. We weren't good enough for 45 minutes. Much better. We came out. We adjusted the shape a bit second half, and probably nothing between the teams really. Game with very few chances again, and it's gone against us. You know, and we've got to stop that. We had that last year when we played all the sort of sides around us. So we have to stop that. So not good today. Not good on many fronts.
Listen, mate, I appreciate you coming out. I know it's been a really frustrating afternoon for you, and stressful afternoon. So I really appreciate you coming out.
Cheers, Dave.
I'll speak to you next week.
Speak soon. Yeah. Cheers, Dave.